your group. So just work your own game, try and get it done. And well, that's the same question for AVE. But here we go. We're finally getting started. It is the T side of Ancient for AVE to get things going. And it's an early lean with that bomb out towards the A side.
Here we go. Landing here on Agent. It's the beginning, finally, of the CIS part of IEM Fall. And AVE are going for a bit more of a default, and this is what I like here in Ancient. Ancient isn't exactly a map that people like to pick and prod through all too much. And an early default does actually bait out a couple of rotations, but the hold is all too good. Boom Blitz alongside Simple, still racking on 3 kills in front of them. Now Sugar, the last one remaining, and a 1v4. Yeah, Navi already had it all. Not even in terms of util, but the little fake that AVE tried to pull off over towards B, well, Navi called it out entirely.
Yeah, they lost a player out towards Jaguar there. Maybe a bit of an overpeak and then tried to reply, right? They saw 2 players towards that B site, so they wanted to try and pop out onto A off that space created. But unfortunately for them, anchoring towards Donut, it was always simple. He went big with the 5-7 and was able to secure the round. Now, for Sugar, feels like an impossible task. The setup by Navi is strong. The crossfires have been established, and this one looking ever difficult. Perfecto, he'll confirm it with the tap to the head, and Navi will take the pistol.
As expected, but how is AVE actually going to be able to react? Because again, it is just the Glocks. Holding W would be optimal. Usually in rounds like these, we do end up seeing at least the CT side with the better guns take up at least some more extended options towards back choke points. But let's see how AVE actually approaches this. They are going full A, more or less over towards mid. And this is one thing that I've been looking out for. How is Navi actually going to play out most of their players? Simple does like the mid side, but it mainly comes down to if this guy even has a rifle or not. And he actually tries to go for it on his lonesome. He runs in to a mosh pit of Glocks. He goes down to waterfalls. There's one player still trying to help him out. Boom Blitz just around the corner, but AVE still have full mid control. But no other space other than that. Navi's doing a good job of just containing this.
Yeah, containment really the name of the game. And I mean, even though Simple fell early, the damage he dealt was big. No armor to support these clocks. So SMG in the right position could end this all. They're spreading out a little bit, seeing if Navi's going to get a bit over aggressive. But despite the fact that they're down a man, the onus is still really on AVE. That is, unless Perfecto bites off more than he can chew out towards mid. Ragin, oh, he checks it, finds the frag, knocked down to 9 HP, but another crucial kill now. Electronic, he has to find the refrag, and Ragin just shuts that down. This is all going wrong for
9
Navi.
HP. And the MP9 around the corner. Expected. Holding down mouse 1, but AVE. What a golden gift for them! Babit already waiting up over towards that mid side, able to get a big one, make it 2 actually. Poria, now the last one remaining in a 1v2. His 3 teammates have gone down in a heap. This is just all too difficult. The economic damage has already been done though. AVE can be quite happy with the result of this round, but Poria, of course, wants a little bit more. He does have an opponent back over towards CT to worry about. He has no utility. He's just trying to play out this 1v1 in his own way. And indeed, he peeks out. Bit, he's able to farm up 3 kills out of that round. But yeah, even then, like I said, it is still very much good for AVE that they ended up putting in that damage, because Navi, I mean, again, it was supposed to be their bonus coming up. They made that full investment.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a round that you will take home, and I kind of want to talk about how they played it, because I liked it, right? They just completely chilled out for a moment. We're waiting for Navi to try and make a move, and they were able to capitalize. Had a player tucked up towards the mid-house, took advantage of frag there, and almost were able to shut it down, but again, no armor. Despite the good guns, it wasn't enough, and this utility usage has been great to deal some chip damage. Boomich stuck in close, trying to find a frag around the corner. I was wondering who Boomich was. He changed face for a moment, and now he'll take down a face. Finds Sivyat. IGL on IGL action as now support will come in. A smoke to keep him safe, and Boomich might have just gotten away with murder.
And such a rough spot too, but Perfecto. Almost always off that contact too, so Boom Glitch. I mean, his insurance policies region. A little bit more unfortunate. He tries to go for a spray back over towards Cap, but still wasn't able to get anything. Watch out for the rest of AVE, though. They are defaulting back over towards A. I'm wondering if it has any information here. We do have Sugar over on the other side of the map, throwing a hell of a lot of util. The bomb's going up mid. Perfecto waiting for it. Big shot from Poria, and Poria is able to get 2. Last person in the back of sight. It's Simple already with the up, but he gets taken down at 2 HP, and he's already shoved into the corner. Waterfalls and Poria just trying to find his foot, and indeed they're able to find the pixel. Boom Blitz now the last one remaining in a 1v4, but it's actually quite possible. Look at the HP on 4 of these players from AVE, but you look at it on paper, 1v4, it's a tall task for Boom Blitz.
And the question is that damage confirmed? And I think at least a large part of it likely isn't. They're probably unaware at how low all these players are. So Boomich, just play those percentages a little bit. Take the save. This round was such an economic cost to Na'Vi because of the damage done with those Glocks. It was forced onto a full reinvestment. And well, now that money has been squandered. Simple, missing out on a crucial shot there and getting taken down. He was the man who needed to find something early, but he was isolated and taken care of, and the round started to slip away. Well played on AVE there to not only get a round done, but to do it cleanly. 4 players left alive, so their early game economy can start to build up, and they can have a chance to push this momentum, especially with Navi's money in shreds.
It is a bit of a gift early on. T-side up on Ancient can be actually quite efficient, but it actually matters on the early peak and what kind of control they can get early on. Waterfalls, I would like to think, wants to wide swing over towards B and potentially try to take that long battle, but it's just going to have to be an even more important round now for Na'Vi. Their cash was, of course, already a bit more affected, but they've actually opted to go for the full buy, already resetting their economy a bit. Good control over towards mid. Simple with a hero rifle, already has full. A bit around the corner. He has to watch out. This default is actually really good for Maeve.
Yeah, that's far it is. And you see Na'Vi, they're trying to push for some kind of control early on. Boomich was again taking space out towards Jaguar. Now he'll relent, fall back to play the site. Simple. He's making a bit of a rotation, or at least trying to find an opportunity out towards mid. Now they know it's an A execute. So much utility has been put forward. Sugar on the spam. He falls to Simple, and Simple isn't punished. Keeping this rifle up could change the round, but Simple has to dive on through. Play around the smoke. If he finds a second, that's so big, and it's the bomb carrier to go down. Now in a 4 versus 3, the lesser weapons, they could still do this.
I think Simple, he didn't swing far enough. Electronic is actually able to pick up the A1S of his dead body, so that's actually really good. So Electronic still behind that half box, but Waterfalls. Neither Poria, neither are opting to peek, but Electronic has the angle. Peeks out the barrel of Waterfalls, and now Poria essentially left scratching his head. His teammate goes down. There's no opportunity for a trade. Nobody else is peeking. Finally, with just about 30 seconds, he feels the pressure. Ragen is finally here to try to help. He has just about half HP. The MP9 grinds it. Electronic is in that exact same headshot position. What a spray from Poria. Able to get the headshot on. Now in a 1v4. Perfecto's in the perfect spots. And Boom Blitz with a great flash. Na'Vi, they throw down the Uno reverse card after losing out on an eco of their own. And now, well, here we go. AVE, now they're the ones up against the ropes. How do they react now with the eco?
How do you bring this one back for AVE? I mean, looking back at that round, it was just simple to do the heroics, and it's a great call that he didn't overswing that, right? He played that close to his chest, which meant that the weapon was able to pick up on more damage than play because now a full reinvestment will come up onto Na'Vi. Yes, it's MP9s, but it's up against a force buy of AVE, so whoever wins this round can tip it in their favor, and with damage exchange, Perfecto playing a dangerous game.
A good counter util, and like you said, Perfecto very much in murky waters, but he still ends up dipping down for another one. Perfecto looking for the lineup back, but a close smoke. There goes the wide swing. Poria with full flash. Boom Blitz getting pressured out. The mag runs out. Still the trade back. Simple gets the kill back with his off, and he has a couple more pixels on his screen. Make it a second. Make it the classic. 3K back from Simple. Make it a 4th. Of course he can. Simple with more magic as AVE walks right into his crosshair.
Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, Simple starting to come online. The op in his hands. We know what a weapon that can be, and Ave were just none the wiser. I mean, it looked so good early on. That fantastic timing was caught, and just one man going wild with an SMG was able to take down two. But the retake potential, well, it was never even really a retake, as Simple just kept the pressure on from those backlines, spamming away. And well, now we see the economic implications. Both sides force into that round, and now it's just going to be the Deegs, and they're just getting sprayed down in middle. Simple and Electronic to find the first two, and the remaining members of AVE are starting to handle their way, to just limp their way over towards the safe site.
A little bit. Could actually get himself a couple more freebies. These eco frags are actually doing quite well for his stats, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get anything off of this. The P250s, the upgraded pistols, actually opting to go back, and this is still very much interesting from Na'Vi, considering the fact that they've had more time over in mid. They opt to go for the two-man crossfire. Just a lot of insurance policies. That is so cutthroat. Ave could literally go nowhere. They try to rotate back over towards mid. There's an instant contact. Pretty much in their spawn was Boom Blitch. Na'Vi doing real well to actually cover up their options, but Ave's still up in the next round. They do have the rifles back. This is good stuff from Na'Vi, though. This is what we expected. It's clinical Counter-Strike Mimi.
That it is, and Lave, let's see what they can find against that. Weapons will come back in, and the utility buy around it is rather respectable. All the trimmings that they need to find themselves around, and this time the bomb is leaning its way out towards that B site. But you see this utility hellstorm that Na'Vi sends pretty much every round, and look at Electronic. He has snuck up so far, so deep. A pop flash forward, he's practically in their spawn. But Poria, he'll punish that one. Still Bit finding his own off of Simple's flashes, and the second you feel like you've reclaimed space for AVE, well, Na'Vi has just taken more away. Boomich walking straight up behind them.
Ooh, it really is just a contact. So Boomich going away, going back over towards mid. AVE still focusing up on more or less a default, but I say more or less because Poria and Waterfalls aren't actually getting too proactive over towards mid. This is a good slow play, though. They have more than a minute to actually go. Not only the util out towards mid, they can actually explode. But Na'Vi, the answer for them is completely abandoning that area.
Ooh, walk down here. Civiat has to deal with containment. I mean, Boomich is just being a thorn in the side, right? Poking and prodding, trying to waste time, waste utility for AVE to re-clear this space, and you see what that's done. We're cut down to 30 seconds, and it looks like they might just be forced into taking a hit out towards B here, but Simple posted with the op.
Simple can still wait. Civiat still stuck behind a molly. Bit, he might be the one to actually take on a bit more pressure. You have to watch out for Waterfalls over in mid. He's waiting up for his teammate. Bit now on the off angle. They're going to try to hard clear this, but it's still going to be the first kill back for Bit. 3v3 now back. Na'Vi, they had all their eggs placed up over in B. So now let's see the rotation.
Oh, Poria, he's going to tuck in close on this corner, try and get something done. Boomich has to clear it, and he seems ready. Jiggle in and out. Simple posted up behind him. Boomich creates the space, finds the frag. Now it's just left to two, but they're doing well for themselves. Reaching for one, and Civiat from the backlines. He's the healthiest man in this round.
Oh, the spray down is too good. Boomich tries to go in for the trade. And just like that, AVE is able to take back a big one. Na'Vi, I mean, you got to feel for them a little bit. They ended up putting in a bit too much of a guarantee back over towards B in terms of manpower. But just the route back for AVE, they made so much noise back over towards B, and it really just had to come down to those one pick off a bit.
Well, what was crucial is that position from Boomich was falling away from. There was a bit of misinformation in the Na'Vi camp when that utility was initially thrown. Boomich, he left mid completely, headed his way over towards that B site. So the only defender in that area was Bit, and despite being close in, the sound queue wasn't quite quick enough. So the rotations were after he was already dead, and it was left down to the retake that slipped away. But AVE, they're not completely satisfied with that one. They're going to take attack pause, trying to find a solution that has longevity.
What is that going to be, though, for AVE? Because we haven't exactly seen too much consistency off of their actual approaches. I just like the fact that they were able to take away like a one-off type of opportunity. You don't really
Yeah.
get those too much against Navi. Very opportunistic, but again, it's the one-off opportunities that aren't exactly gonna win you a game entirely against Navi, but it can definitely win you rounds. Let's see how they try to treat out this back push though, because Boomich with a bit more pressure. Same thing with Perfecto over on the other side. Boomich with a big one. Perfecto doing the same, and it's down to that smoke setup over in the back. They invade out the short side, and now AVE, they do have one more player remaining, but no way. Boomich full flash pulls out the sidearm and still able to take down Civiat. Only 2 more players remaining now for AVE.
And I mean, look at the last 2 players' position. They gained nothing off of that fight out towards Jaguar. Navi still has great positioning in that area, and AVE is going to have to fight for every single inch. A tactical pause was taken. They felt like they had the strat, but just one man to push that all away, and now 2 players posted up on the left side. Boomich, he's hungry. He wants more. He'll find 3 frags now in the round for himself and leaves it all down to Waterfalls. Waterfalls, he's shown his position. He's known. He's noted. Navi's encroaching from all sides, and Boomich, 4 in the name, 4 in the round, and 6 on the board for Navi.
Not all too difficult, was it? It was the individual plays coming up from both Perfecto and Boomich. I mean, good utility, at least in terms of the actual responses from pushes, but mainly Navi holding W when absolutely necessary. And I mean, that's the way, right? Stop the response from AVE, not actually allow them to get a setup going. But I think that was their intention, right? Navi wanted to kind of get a jolt to the system of AVE. Now they've got it. Now they're forced back down onto pistols. Now they're rushing B. They're running into 2 players out from the CT side, make it 3. Perfecto's around the corner. Same thing with Boomich alongside Electronic.
And look at that utility damage. I mean, 3 players are on 1 HP just off of the nades and the mollies. I mean, I think they threw 2 HEs plus 2 Molotovs, just sending so much utility in that one section of the map. And AVE, they're completely forced to reset here. But again, when they reset, they lose all information because most of these rounds, they're leaning early, strong towards one site. And then when they're pushed off, they hold nothing towards mid. Simple is still posted in this part of the map, but they're going to try and contest it. Run boost setup to do so.
All right. See if they actually get it going. Simple waiting up for it. Bit of a flick. Can't get anything done.
HE.
Yeah, I don't even think he needs to reaggress here. Again, the cash for Navi is still very much fragile. Still holding up in the back line. AVE down so much HP. We just need the spray down here, isn't it?
Yeah, someone's just got to finish things off. Who's going to get all those tasty? Because it might just be Electronic. Backline's held, no utility to flash him off this line. They're just going to have to hard phase check it. Can they get away with anything in this round? Maybe. So rotation's underway. Now it's out towards Donut, but Simple, again, let's see with that off.
Ooh, Simple down to 3 HP. He's getting pressured out. Look at the pop back from Ragin, but good response back from Electronic. Bit with another kill back. Simple can finally finish it off. Down to 3 HP. Okay. Not exactly that important of a scenario either. No, we could have just picked up the op all good. No, still going to be the 7th round back for Navi. AVE getting a little bit more shaky. We haven't seen too much tactically from the T side purely because of how early Navi are actually getting some of these kills. But in terms of pathing from these actual rifle rounds from AVE, we've seen mostly defaults.
Yeah, that we have, and I mean, I want to talk about how Navi's playing this, because I would just describe this style as suffocating with the early utility. The amount that they throw out just off the rip of rounds, the amount of pressure they put normally out towards Jaguar, space that's normally pretty easy for the T's to take, has been made incredibly difficult by this Navi squad. As an underdog team, when you're completely choked out, you can't play your own game whatsoever, and instead you just have to focus on countering out the utility getting thrown at you in the early rounds. Well, it makes an already difficult job even harder. But this time, still queued up. They're going to try and take it fast out towards B. It's Perfecto to hold around the pillar. He'll spray away one, but the trades come through. Electronic still in the back lines to find something. The molly to finish the job, and now he'll tuck in. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 to try and deny the bomb plant, to try and bring it back in, but they're being pressured. The nade finishes off Simple, and Ragin finds Electronic, so now it's just Bit. But Bit, he's sneaking around this angle, might just find the timing.
Ooh, timing is good for for him to at least hug the angle. Where's the trade? There it is. Region had the angle, but he wasn't actually thinking about fighting it for a quick second. But there you go. That is absolutely everything from AVE. A realistically fought battle, B site, and actually won with confidence. This is different. Now Na'Vi, they have a whole lot of cash. I assume they're going to buy. Of course they are. Okay, AVE, can they get something done here? They can make this half at least a little bit closer.
They absolutely can. And I mean, 3 rounds, you're already on good pace to find a solid half on your T side of Ancient. It is one of the most CT-sided maps in the game. You're finding yourself 5 rounds. Well, you start to feel pretty comfortable, but Boomage, yet again, he just does this every single round, and it's the pinch with Perfecto. This play has worked just time after time, Gus.
Time after time, it is Na'Vi. Early on. Getting a couple of these off-angle kills, and indeed, it's Boomage once again. Getting over that early peak. Again, it is just quite unfortunate for AVE because they keep trying to aim up for a mid-B split. It is working, but something about Boomage over towards Cheetah that is stopping AVE from even getting a chance here. But here we go. Poria and Sugar, they have restricted utility. Not a lot of space to actually go through. They do have that smoke up over towards the mid side, still covering up Simple. Possible, actually. I'll say that.
Or you're just going to disrespect the smoke, sneak on in. Molly supports the play, and Bit is just holding incredibly passively towards their spawn. He'll be the backside anchor for the A site, and Simple. The bear has been poked, but he hasn't been angered just yet. One shot will show his position, but nothing more will come of it as Sugar now queued up to take this one out towards A. It's going to be Bit on a rotation to join Simple with the AWP. Take care of this one.
Good crossfire too, but Simple's gonna get full flashed out of it. You still have Bits with his peek back, but it's actually Simple with a kill. Make it a second, actually. Simple with a re-peeks. Electronic just getting away all of that bait too. So an 8th round back for Na'Vi. We were looking for a response there from AVE, but it happened again, Mimi. Too early action from Na'Vi. They just keep jolting the system. They keep, after a loss, they just keep trying to pull whatever cheese they can against AVE to literally just stop their, not only stop their spirit, but their economy is done again.
Yeah, the eco is in a very rough spot here, and I was going to say, I want to see them ignore this B site on these eco rounds, because they just don't have the utility to counter out the amount of mollies that get sent against them. Over towards this A site, it's a bit more approachable, because Bit's the only man here. He only has 1 belt of utility, and help, well, it's very far away. Simple will start to work on maybe considering that rotation, but he doesn't commit to it. Now it's just Bit on his own little island to defend.
Oh, okay, there you go. He can farm up a bit more now. Gonna be able to get to his teammates are finally here. Spray down for a 3rd trade back from Simple. Sivia, now the last one remaining, just looking for at least a route back, but the crossfire is now down. The electronic back over towards mid, so there you go. Navi, clean 9th. That's all you really want to see.
Siviat's such a nice guy. Shot his teammate in the back a little bit, helped Simple out, made that job even easier. Yeah, just a friendly little pat in the back to help get things going. But AVE, they'll have a buyback in, and now we start to think about how do you counter out that play that we've seen repeatedly coming out from Jaguar. I wouldn't hate to see early utility, maybe a molly attempt to be thrown in that corner just to deny Boomage finding that cross into his sneaky position that he takes practically every round. But what makes it difficult is the mollies that are thrown early by Na'Vi. They put one out towards B main, they put a smoke over towards the front of Jaguar, and well, Boomage, he's again posted up in that position, but AVE, they feel like they found a crack, and that's the A site. Maybe it's their opportunity, but this round is different. Simple isn't Donut. Instead, he's anchoring close on the site to aid Bit in his endeavors.
And he's been anchoring here this entire time, but they've actually shifted Simple already. Off of mid, it is electronic. Just with that jump spot, he is able to get 1. So AVE, oh no. The contacts are massive over towards mid, but more importantly, Boomage. I keep saying it, Boomage. So back over towards Jaguar. Back over towards Cheetah, still looking out for that contact. And more fortunately, though, Ragin doesn't actually want to give it to him. He's just hiding around the corner potentially to get the one-off frag. But what is going off here? They're not even peeking Electronic. They're not even peeking him. He sprays away at 3. They don't even 180 back. No boom, it's just here on the corner to clean things up. They don't know Poria's here. Poria's able to get a free one. Simple actually with a missed shot. Electronic with a wide swing. It's chaos. Sugar and Ragin, though, looking to take things back. Sight is theirs, but the bomb's certainly not. Simple has the pixel angle back over towards door. Great pop flash. Sugar is done. Ragin was hit by that same flash. Electronic has the wide angle. All 3 players are here. Navi play that last one out well. 10-3. Things are just getting worse now for AVE. And yeah,
What?
sure, things are going worse for AVE, but that round was just so weird.
Yeah, they just completely attempted to disrespect the Electronic. I wonder if they were trying to maybe get a drop onto the player, like back square or something, but it just didn't work out. Like, I wouldn't have hated to just see them use that pop flash instead to just face Electronic, because his trade potential playing back spawn, well, it's not really there. Bit is the closest rotation. He'd be long away. It would be a gun that they could take out of the hands of Navi and an advantage to find, but instead, they just get pinched. And again, they're cut down to this eco round.
And yet another one. Yeah, and another eco. This time, though, we actually do have a whole team approach, it seems. Back over towards B, where Navi does actually have most of their options. We have Boomich once again. Has been anchoring. Back Cheetah all these times. I just kind of like the fact that we still have very, very, very basic util, or essential util now for AVE. But Boomich, actually with the M4 not able to get anything. Good little shoulder peeks back from Ragin, in fact, baiting out that spray. Perfecto might actually have a couple easy ones. These are 2 players down extremely, extremely low on HP. Out goes the pop flash. A finally with a bit of util back over towards B. They're actually looking to take this, and Navi are looking to retake instead.
Oh, Perfecto, first frag there. He'll hold on to the space towards Cave. Simple, just a little too wide on the shot. So the bomb feels like the first time in forever that it's actually coming down,
Ooh.
but holding on to it, getting that detonation, that's a much harder task. Electronic, he's still holding. He knows that a rewrap is a potential, and he'll shut down that play. 2 frags for him, and now it's waterfalls for the 1v3, but the time favors him. He has a weapon, but there's no util to work with. He's smoked off. Has to look for a miracle on the spray. They're lining up, but Simple will cut him straight on down. It's 11 for Navi.
And a final chance for AVE 2. Reminder that was mostly pistols. But man, I mean, I just like the energy. That's all I can really say about this, because they're not exactly winning out the rounds. They're not impressing us all too much with the exec period. But the pace that they're going at, the discipline that they're showing against a team like Navi, and essentially due diligence, just that hard clear over towards Cheetah is all you really need to know for that. AVE doing the right work. But can they continue to do so? Bimit. Ooh, Boomich around the corner. Not able to get anything once again. Civiat actually doing a really good job over towards Cheetah recently, and Ragin with another big one. This is a 2-man advantage for AVE.
That it is, but the health isn't great. And Simple, he's going on the hunt, looking to retake this space out towards Jaguar, but it's being held. Civiat close in the corner. It's a tough angle to take care of, but that's not where the final play is. This is just a matter of containment as the bomb. It's gonna lean out towards the A site. Bit, he's posted up in the donut, so he should hear this utility starting to rain in. He can give calm to his teammates on the rotation, but in a 3 versus 5, it's tough to make that gamble any which way.
Simple out and away. Bit been playing this A anchor the entire time. Doesn't exactly want to relinquish it either, but he's actually getting pressure out for the first time in a good bit. Sitting back at tunnels, only able to get one, make it a second no. Poria still with the kill back. We're not looking at a lot of util for AVE, though. Where's the smoke towards back? Simple could watch the angle. Good flashes, actually. Able to give Waterfalls the plant, and he escapes. Simple misses out in the shot. Good peek back onto Poria. 25 HP just around the corner. His teammate is right next to him. Electronic is here to try to help. He does wide swing, and he takes down Waterfalls. Now it's a 1v2. Sugar with a big kill onto Simple. And there you go. You said it. The flank coming in slowly but surely. Electronic knows it. He knows that he has to stress out. He's trying to push out the interaction against Sugar, but Sugar plays it so well. Pushes Electronic to the brink, and he has to go for the extreme. And it's a round back for AVE to close out the half. Na'Vi, yes, they're the best in the world, but they might be a little bit mortal, folks. We'll be back with the second half. Welcome back to IEM Fall. We're kicking off the final qualifier for the Stockholm Major with the #1 in the world, Na'Vi, doing quite well. They did have a couple sporadic rounds being taken by their unranked opponents, though. AVE on the other side of the server with 4 rounds going into the CT.
Let's see it. AVE will take something momentous if they're able to pull off this upset, but we'll see if they're up to the task. Pistol round of the utmost importance with this 11-4 half, and Civiet is taking that first point of contact. Jaguar control already going over towards Na'Vi. It feels a far cry from that first half where this position was so fought for.
Civiet did not opt to go for the deeper contact, and like you said, so heavily fought for in that first half. Boomich did not want to give up that initial peak, but AVE instead, they're going to opt for a retake back over towards site. Early on, though, it is going to be Poria with an early kill onto one of the best players in the world, Simple, but his teammates can do the exact same. Raging going to be able to take down Perfecto. 2-man disadvantage now for Na'Vi.
Yeah, but they hold on to this post plant. There's only one kit in play. Doesn't look like any smokes to support it either, so this one stays difficult.
Ooh, Bit gonna be able to get that first contact, but what a hold from Civiet. Boomich alongside Electronic right next to each other, trying to retake this bomb, but the defuse kit on Civiet is gonna be able to take the whole thing, and Na'Vi knew that they weren't gonna be able to fight that one back. And not only that, but some salt in the wounds right after, Raging with both kills right after. And that cash that he ended up getting from those 2 kills might have actually been worth that A1S that he just ended up purchasing. A massive pistol round win for the underdogs.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good look on the retake as well. And while those frags, normally Navi would be fine with losing out on a couple members because they hold the superior position for the post plant. But 2 of the first people to die were the main players. So the only position you had was out towards Cave. And it's incredibly difficult to hold a bomb from that position with just the pistols. And well, now with just the Deegs, this one is again looking pretty tough for Navi. Civ yet, they'll get a bit of a punish, but Smoke will keep Big Boom away from the choke.
Big Boom back, but it's not all doom and gloom. We're seeing most of the players from Na'Vi still holding on to these early contacts, but I was going to say this could get a little bit more spicy if AVE do actually opt to go for some of these more inched up spots. But they're not going to do so whatsoever. They have 3 players back, 1 person in the back of Donut. This is really good disciplinary contact from AVE, and I mean, honestly, this is just the insurance policy that we've been waiting for this team throughout this entire game.
That it is, and it's looking good in this one. Bit, though, might have found a sneaky timing. No one actually watching out towards the mid-house, so if he pushes forward, he could find himself a good bit of space, possibly an opportunity for a backstab out towards the B site, or maybe even just to cut off the rotation. Raging, he's holding out towards B. That's where this contact will lie, but just remember where Bit is, because he could change this round from his position in mid.
Again, like I said, disciplinary contact, and that's all you really need. They allow Boomich to go through. And finally, the peek out from Waterfalls and Raging ends up converting out all 3 kills, and the flank back from Bits. Not worth it at all. That is finally now a bonus now for AVE. Are we even going to see a response from Na'Vi in terms of economy, though? Most likely just a couple of pistols, and all I gotta say is that AVE, they are finally picking up a bit more momentum. Yeah, the economy is gonna help them a little bit more, but this is fun. This is at least some competition here at the very beginning of IEM. Something that we don't really expect either. The BO1s with Na'Vi can be a little bit more clear-cut than usual.
Yeah, still, it's looking like a fairly one-sided scoreline, but this round will decide a lot. It's another point for Na'Vi, and they're getting forced away. Sivyat, Poria, both taking the fight, but Simple will trade it back on through, taking a good heap of damage as a reward for that frag, but the bomb recovered in a 3 versus 4 with plenty of time to play with. What is the move for Na'Vi? For now, they're just cutting noise, but Flash goes forward, trying to get a bit of info out towards main, but there's no one to peek off it. Now that main control, it's getting encroached on.
A bit has slipped on through. We're now looking at any scoped rifles over towards that back line. It is more or less just the dry angles that these 2 are taking. I'm not allowing Util to answer right back after, too. So Civiat alongside Raging. What can they try to pull off? There goes that early smoke. Now full back is now covered. So AVE, do they try to go for a retake here? 3 players in the middle of sight for Na'Vi.
Yeah, they gotta try and force their way back in, and the utility is good for him. Molly goes forward. You have 2 flashes to set up as well, and Sugar, he'll just spray straight through the foot. Smoke finds 1 bit. Oh, it's a lineup, but he only gets 1. Now it's Electronic. The 1 versus 3 flash, swing. He's dead. It's absolute perfection from Waterfalls.
Oh my word! The buy round back for AVE. Momentum for this team. Where did it come from at all? Did it really just come down to the economy? Did it really just come down to a pistol? That one was a bit more difficult, though. Na'Vi still holding back. Can they actually do anything going up into this next round? Because the rifles, I would just expect them to work. They didn't have a lot of answers back in terms of utility. They used them all in terms of the actual push, but so did AVE. To that extent, it was just really 1 or 2 flashes that ended up giving them the initial peaks that they wanted.
And I mean, hindsight's always 2020, but I don't know if I loved that buy-in last round from Navi. I don't know if it was
Mhm.
the play to fully
It
force
was very
that one
last
because,
second too.
yeah, they made the decision to go forward with the Galils. They found the site, but the thing is, AVE had money in their back pocket. Even if they lost that round, they likely still could have reinvested. It was a very high risk and relatively low reward play, but here we go. They're risking it again, and maybe it'll work better this time. Electronic finds one, but Poria pushing forward. Now he's in danger. Perfecto hot on his heels, nipping away with the damage from that Tech 9. And now Ragin, he's just a bit too late to find the support. He'll take at least one head. A second now picked up. He can find more as Boomich will be in a position to die as well. But now the smokes come in. I'll cut him off. The Shark will
Oh,
do no more hunting unless he boosts over Ragin. Does he have an angle? The young Ukrainian on the other side goes for the bomb plant. Now that'll be confirmed. It's a post plant secured, but it's a dangerous one. It's a fickle one for Na'Vi.
yeah, no flashes for other team either. So AVE just have to make their way in bit by bit in terms of space. They have the double smoke, and the double smoke is perfect. No one from Na'Vi is actually playing in the middle of sight. Everyone is on the outskirts. AVE is able to take this one back. There's two players trying to come back over towards Dark and House. Perfecto with a spray through. Sugar down to 13 HP. Still trying to stick. Rubens finally with the kill is going to be able to make it a second. Waterfalls is too far away. And Perfecto can't get the shot in. Can't take away the up. The economy is going to stay fine for AVE. But what a hold in at the end. Boomich just threw his life away at the end to get two.
Yeah, you love to see Navi taking advantage of the new update. That spam ability, it was made a bit more ubiquitous, a bit easier across the board, and well, they just spam on through, are able to get the bomb diffuser down to 1 HP, and then it's just a heroic swing straight on forward. But for AVE, that round has got to feel so punishing, because Navi has just been forcing, constantly investing into these rounds, and they finally managed to brute force something. I was pretty afraid for a moment there that the round was going to slip away from Navi because they had no flashes. They were completely smoked off. If it wasn't for a heroic play out the smoke, that round would have been lost. But AVE was just not holding for it whatsoever. No one was watching the cave, and now I'll lose out on the round still. Like you stated, money's good. They'll have a reinvestment. They'll hold on to the op for waterfalls and should be able to pull this one back towards their favor. Both teams here taking their 30 seconds, taking their pause. Huge mistakes on both sides in that round, but Navi, they can count their blessings taking that win.
Yeah, it was of course the small things that ended up affecting the round in the end, anyways. So good stuff in terms of actual gunplay. One thing that, of course, you would have to say hindsight for is Waterfalls and his actual position. Him sitting back long isn't exactly proficient. He was actually looking out for the smoke rush, but man, his team desperately needed him on site. And I know for a
Yeah.
fact that he's kicking himself. He still has that op though. He could definitely pick things back up as he has been throughout the game. But on his team, though, as of recent, it really has been Rage and Emporia having quite the breakthrough game.
They've been big hitters in this one, but back on into the action. The pauses have relented. Both teams get their bit of conversation, and Boomich, he's eaten a ton of damage. The nades early on, and he's hard cleared, hard checked. This pinch that was working so well for Na'Vi has thus far been problematic for AVE. They've relatively been, or excuse me, most of the time they've been dying out on that play, but this round, it works out to perfection. They take care of Boomich early on, and now Na'Vi cut down to 4. Might just take things quick out towards the A site, but they've been read on to. They might just reconsider.
Yeah, more importantly, we saw AVE with a massive push back over towards construction. More importantly, clearing out ramp. No information whatsoever back over towards B main. AVE, they almost had a full 5-man rotation back into A at one point. They have solidified things. But that just kind of describes the tough scenario here for Na'Vi. They did actually opt to go for a bit more cheeky of a setup, potentially more noise from Boomich over towards mid, and a split back over towards A, something that Na'Vi hasn't attempted thus far. So again, element of surprise is gone. We're looking at 2 players back over towards the B side to try to hold this one, though. It is going to be Ragin and Civiat holding it down. Na'Vi, mind you, not a lot of util. Same thing with AVE. Both teams maximum they have a flash. Poria going to be able to get one off a simple, and that is really it, right? Everyone else from Na'Vi, they can't go anywhere, and no time remaining, with no util remaining. They're going to make this one of the most boring rounds of Counter-Strike, where we have stayed here for just about 2 minutes. Na'Vi, they run into 2 separate brick walls, and AVE is going to take back an 8th round.
Yeah, and the hero of that round, it's Poria. The push down mid was so well timed. His teammates made the comm that a bit of util was heading its way out towards B, and he knows with such limited time, there's likely not going to be a mid lurk, especially when there's a man disadvantage already. Say Boomich was still alive, well, there's a chance he's anchoring out towards mid, but in that round, doesn't happen. Poria just cleanly takes the space, finds the backstab, takes care of Simple, and assures that the round was just a save. What's the investment like for Na'Vi? Buy into a Galil here, putting something up around this round. Simple will have a dig to work with, but the buy, it's not stellar.
Not by any means, but this setup mid could be a bit fickle. The right contact is had. Oh no, they will never expect this. No way they expect a double hold over towards mid, but all the other interactions are important too, isn't it? Back over towards short. It was one going down. Hello, Waterfalls. Finally going to be able to pick up one. And again, this does seem like a finish over towards mid for Na'Vi for at least 2 of their players. Let's see if this trap works. Waterfalls again, still holding it around the corner. Boomich. Oh, he's in the middle of the smoke. He finally peeks out. Poria has the angle, and he's going to be able to get the kill. Again, just not expecting that second player. Made it happen. Nice for that one frag back. More unfortunately, though, Simple and Perfecto barely able to fight, but it's the fight back for Poria. He gets the kill into Simple. Shot back for Waterfalls. AVE, what on earth was that? Some underhanded tactics, sure, but it's a 9th round back on Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, for the likes of Na'Vi, they've relatively not been putting too much into the mid control, and that's because AVE hasn't really been contesting it. Maybe you have someone jump peeking back towards mid house, but besides that, they're not putting too much in towards that area. But in this round, they completely flipped the script. They position Waterfalls with support and set him up for success. It's huge because this Opper, who's usually a start for AVE, has been starting very, very slow. Now, he's getting the ball rolling at a crucial part of the game.
Really is just contacts for Na'Vi at this point. AVE, back to the old grind where they're not exactly contingent on taking too many early interactions. Sugar is getting pressured up for realistically the first time in a good bit. Look at the Waterfalls has 3 different angles there. The verticality, the wide swing from the other side. It almost works out though. Waterfalls, he does spot a pixel a bit too early, and he's able to back out before the 3 players from Na'Vi are able to swing. So one less cheesy death. Still have to watch out though. AVE actually have invested the 3 players back over towards B, and it could actually work out for them. Look at the bomb going back.
Yeah, where is the bomb gonna finish here? Looks like B-side is that decision, but like you're pointing out, it's a strong stack, it's a strong position in the rotation. It'll be quick out of Sugar if this play is shown. Still 47 seconds left, and that's been cut down to just about 30, but still, potential make this one happen. You see Bit with the pressure over towards mid, but Sivyat will hold close on the site. He'll have the crucial position to shut down this execute.
Region has the angle. Waterfall back on the crossfire. You still have another person around the corner. That smoke actually covers him off. Sivyat is now on his own in the middle of the site. Gonna be able to get to Ragin with a gap in his own smoke. Able to help out still. Simple now in a 1v3, but he's done on the round, and he's done for the frags. Can he even survive? Time runs out. Time runs out. He picks up the op, but it's an absolute tragedy, honestly. Na'Vi.
Oh, no.
The rest of the players, they can buy, sure, but what about Simple? He has to stick on with a dig, and okay, look, it's Simple. He can stick with a dig if he wants to, but I'm actually going to go opposite. The last time that we ended up seeing a full buy plus a pistol, it was Simple that was left with the dig. They're actually going to trust him now with the hero rifle back. Okay, a little bit less economy. Not a tragedy. But AVE, still with another round back. They have double digits up on Na'Vi. Let's see if they can counteract one more round.
Let's see if it's possible here. Waterfalls. Let's see it. Moment to succeed. He'll throw back the molly and slow the push. He'll stem the bleeding for a moment. Na'Vi, relent. bomb starts to fall away. And I mean, big issues for this Navi squad seems to be just the time getting the better of them. In a lot of these rounds, they go for the last second executes. And we saw in that round where they ended up saving. One frag you have to cancel, save on into it. I mean, they really don't leave themselves too many options. And that's not to discredit AVE, because AVE have done a great job at denying information. The late plays out towards mid, the constant smoke screens kept up towards B have been able to do that job. But now, talk of mid, it's Poria to get it done. He'll find one, but the spray adjustment isn't there. Umich, he took the sacrifice to give Simple the rifle, and it's proven to be worth it.
It's still very much scattered. It's almost the Navi special at this point, the early default. Or where do they actually want to explode? Civiat, hello. Not going to be able to get anything off of this. No taps in. Perfecto down to 60. Civiat just about the same. And finally, the repeak from both actually ends up in a W for Navi. A rare W. No AVE. 2 players back in A. Actually have to face on Navi's first actual hold. Those footsteps might have actually revealed Sugar over towards that back site. They're still going to be able to hard clear this, but Waterfalls has the first contact. He misses out on Simple. Electronic punishes. Going to be able to get the kill. Sugar, he wasn't spotted. He's still going to be able to take down the bomb planter, but that is all the damage that he's able to do. 3 more players remaining now for Navi. Raging in a 1v3.
Raging, what can he get done in this one? I mean, that position in the backside, it had to be everything there. He wasn't spotted out. There was no information. And while he denied the plant, there was still enough time. 6 seconds on the clock. It comes down, and now Raging, all he has to worry about is staying alive in this one. Navi, they take the early fight out towards mid. They recollect their thoughts off the punish on the aggression and find a nice clean take on that A site. A tough round to lose for AVE.
Yeah, it just sucks because back plateau is usually something that players are peaking. That players are usually hard clearing. The fact that Navi did neither was honestly just a silver platter opportunity here for AVE, but they can't exactly look down on that opportunity yet. They still have a whole lot of cash. They're going to be able to rebuy into the next round. Navi, they aren't stable either, so things can still very much flip on the dime. In we go, yet another round. AVE does have their buyback. They do actually end up investing up on yet another AWP, as important here on Ancient. But early on, Navi, a bit more different. They're going for a 1-4 split, mostly over towards B, and it's a bit faster, but they stop again.
Yeah,
look at the push, Jaguar.
But oh my god, Poria, he's charging straight on through, finds 2 frags. Civiat helps out as well. The aggression to perfection. Now it's just Perfecto and Bit left to try and salvage this round. And Waterfalls, he has the angle, he has the shot, and now Perfecto, with still a minute 20 left on the clock, he's shut down. AVE, I mean, they saw how slow Navi was playing, and they completely flipped the script.
I have no words. I have no words. That was just AVE with that same counteraction that we saw in the first half, right? You end up seeing a big opportunity where, you know, hey, a bit more optimal for us to just hold W into this round. They had the right util, deep mollies, deep smokes, deep flashes. Mainly just trying to keep Navi away from actually dispersing back over towards gate. But this, of course, tall task for Perfecto, and I'm sure he's just attempting this just to give it the old college try. And that's really all it is. 13-11 is our score line. It is bound to get a bit higher if Navi doesn't buy. And I'm sure they have a bit more cash. But oh boy, should Navi ever be even dropping rounds to a team like this? Now they could start to think a bit. This timeout, they just need to bring things back on track.
I think they only have one more timeout after this as well, so things starting to whittle away. One of those last chances. Close things on out. Navi, what's the play? I mean, this map is so CT-sided, but you'd expect Navi to still be able to take advantage. And again, it feels like the pacing has got the better of them. They got a little too lethargic. They were completely unprepared for a play out towards Jaguar. It's a position that they're normally so apt at contesting, but in that last round, didn't happen. Still, buys are available. Both sides will reinvest, but we're starting to edge our way towards a tipping point because the money is low. Still, that loss bonus is building, but Navi need to start to find some of these rounds cleanly.
Absolutely, that's the point. Their economy has always been up against the ropes. We've been seeing so many late round scenarios where just the difference in utility has made, of course, that massive difference. It was kind of funny though that we ended up seeing I think it was only 3 pieces of util combined between the two teams, and it just so happened to be that 2 of them were smokes, and they were both AVEs. Such close margins. Such close margins in these rounds. And for AVE, they can thank their lucky stars with a couple of these plays. Catching Na'Vi completely off tempo in that last round gives them a massive opportunity. Now it's going to be up v up once again. Simple. Opting to go back on his teammate, buying it for him. Waterfalls versus him. The rest of Na'Vi, they are more defaulted out, though. We have to watch out for Civiat. He's taking a lot of pressure back over towards Draguar, and he has to back out.
A relent for the moment, as Na'Vi will begin to trundle forward again. It's contestation of the A main position. Look at the change in the setup for AVE. They have 2 players anchoring out towards Donut. They love doing this with Waterfalls. Poria and Waterfalls are a fantastic duo when they work together, set that up for success. And, well, he's in the right place. Is it the right time, though? Is this the go button for Na'Vi? Seems to be so. Utility raining on in. It'll be a bit, but just the tech to entry.
Waterfalls in the back. He pretty much is the only contact. We have one in Temple finally, but Bit holding W off that Tech 9. Able to take away the big green. Watch out for Sugar. Good timing, but he's not able to take down the Titan in Simple. Still 4 players now remaining for AVE. They're just looking in for the rotations. Thankfully, Poria able to get a free one. The spray through the smoke actually goes in on a Bit as it dissipates, but in goes now 2 more players. Ragin and Civiat. Big shot for Bit. He's down to 2 HP. Ragin is down. 14 rounds back for Na'Vi. And for AVE, that first contact was everything. Na'Vi was forced to wait up time on that utility. AVE had the right options, but they weren't able to counteract with the frags.
And look at the money. No loss bonus really here whatsoever for AVE. They only received 1,400 off that round. And, well, I think they just have to eco this one. A force buy would be such a large risk with the amount of money they have, and that's all it'll be. Dualies bought up for Poria. Maybe you can make some heroics happen with that. A couple mollies as well, but not much more. Na'Vi, the return to simplicity, works in a stellar fashion as they're now looking to start to edge closer to closing this map.
And it's inching closer physically. Na'Vi, after a little bit earlier of a default, they are going right over towards that A side, and again, it is a full stack. Currently from AVE, they have 1 contact over in mid, over in Donut, in terms of Poria. That's realistically it. In comes yet another smoke setup this time. Looks like they are committing to this. They're going pretty fast, too. Let's see if any of these pistols can get some kills. Bit is on the front line once again with that same route that he took in the last round, this time with an AK, but he's immediately traded back by Rage. And watch out for Waterfall, still over towards back plateau. Nobody's peeked him just yet, and he's still looking out for a couple of frags. Gonna be able to get one, hopefully. Yes, indeed, he's gonna be able to make it one. Simple with the no-scope. Barely able to survive the USP to the back of his head. Would have been able to do it. Watch out for Poria. Poria is dead too. Had the full peek on a Perfecto. 2 more players down below, just about 20 HP. This pistol could be able to make that damage. That's indeed it. Just essentially economic damage. Bomb finally going to be able to go down. Boomich, 84 HP, who would be considered kind of just the guardian for this one. Let's Civiat alongside the rest of AVE. Certainly just good work, but it finally finishes up. Whoa. Deep breaths, folks. Na'Vi only 1 round away from closing out their first game here in IEM.
Maybe a little closer than they expected, but they're just hairs inch away from shutting this one down. Still overtime, a good possibility for AVE in these latter rounds. Na'Vi, their biggest solution has been just fast hits out towards this A site, but they've been a little lazy in checking back plat in 2 of these rounds now, where a player has been able to almost change the tide just off that positioning. But A's not the destination. There was a gamble stack of 3 over towards that position, but now it looks like it's just going to be fast out towards B. Electronic trying to punish on Waterfalls, but Waterfalls, he finds it through the wall. Boomage on the trade back. Damage still coming through, but the site, that's secured. It's another retake to save AVE.
Sugar on that same trip, trying to look for a couple of bullets through that smoke, but not able to find anything. Raging with a spray through, nothing. No contacts, no flanks, no sauce. Na'Vi has everything here over towards the B site. Rage, unfortunately, does at least have a bit more space back over towards Stark, but that helps a bit. Crossfire's broken up by a single nade, and now the Crossfire's gone, period, here in the B site.
Flash.
You do have that counter boost. Back for Simple. Simple stands up, not able to find anyone, but you know if he gets a contact, he is a homing missile. Looking forward, smoke's not dissipating just yet. Bomb's still in his face. He misses out on the shot. Defuse still going in. Simple misses out on his shots. The no-scope hits, but the defuse is down. AVE still surviving. They put all of their bodies in the way. And 12 rounds later for AVE, and they still survive against Na'Vi. Na'Vi will have money going into the next round, but that was just the go big or go home moment for this team.
That it was. And I mean, they went big for AVE. The pushback in has been looking so good. And I gotta critique Na'Vi a little bit because there's been, 3 rounds now where these B-site post plants have not been going in towards their way. I think it was one of those very first rounds. It might have even been the pistol that they lost out on because AVE was able to just smoke off all the angles. Those crossfires got deleted and they were completely crunched on. It happened here again where Na'Vi had to make some kind of desperate play, had to hope that there would be a spam coming through off of waterfalls, but it doesn't work out. I wouldn't hate to see them continue the aggression or at least keep someone on the site. They tried to. It was boomage towards Dark, but just a well-placed nade. I mean, AVE's utility has been great for the retakes.
It has to come down to potentially that bomb spot too. We ended up having Rage and still playing back over towards Cheetah. He was really just menacing, honestly, with his contact. And they were just trying to plant away from it. They were planting back pillar. And that simply just wasn't the spot that Simple wanted to get those picks in the end. So again, que sera, sera. We move on. And Natus Vincere. They do have the rifles back. They do have some util set, but look at this. Sugar around the corner looking for a cheeky one, but he's not able to get the kill into Bit. He's able to get that damage done, though. Waterfalls, he replaces him in the same exact spot with the early peek. Bit pulling out a bit of util, but he opts to play whack-a-mole. He pops out, and he's able to get the big frag. There's only one person back over towards the A site.
Youngster, the man they need, might just be the one to close things on out for Na'Vi. 3 versus 5 here, and what's the positioning? AVE incredibly split up, everyone playing on their own individual island, and the utility try and show some presence out towards A, maybe dissuade Na'Vi, but Na'Vi, they're not dissuaded. They haven't even made a decision just yet. They've pumped the brakes and are waiting for AVE to make a mistake, and you can see it. They're getting twitchy. They're getting a little nervous. They need information, but aren't pushing it just yet. And with Perfecto pushing up on his own, he could catch out Ragin, but instead Ragin finds his position still. Stays a stalemate as the bomb. It's out towards A.
This is such a good fake from Perfecto, dude. Great smoke placed down, and now finally the contact happens, but it's just Poria over towards mid. Not exactly equalizing the round either. Na'Vi fully over towards A. They know that a contact was coming in from B, but do they know that Perfecto is perfectly on this flank? Simple, gonna be able to get a kill around the corner, but through the smoke, he goes down to 10 HP. He's gonna opt to play for a little bit more of a cheeky spot. Through the smoke again, but I think there was a gap. Perfecto coming back over towards spawn. Simple, staying a bit more safe, but out comes the peek over in Donut. Perfecto only going to be able to get one for now. 67 HP now on Poria. It's a 1v1 to finish the game. Diffuse Kid is on him, but Perfecto, he has the angle. The all picked up for Poria, but he's caught out with his pants down. Na'Vi close out the first.